Hey everyone, welcome. As you can tell, we are here in Brooklyn and we have a great story, Curious George. We haven't done a Curious George. It's, 460 something stories we've told and not a Curious George among them. Well, we're going to change that. Curious George and the Dinosaur. Aha. All right. Graham's class was taking a field trip to the museum and George was going along. "We're glad to have you, George," said Mr. Chauncey, the teacher, "but don't get into trouble." At the museum, Mr. Chauncey began to explain one of the displays. "These rocks are millions of years old." Well, the students were not listening. "This is boring," said a student. "It sure is. When is lunchtime?" asked a third. George wandered off. He didn't find the rocks very interesting either. But in the next room, George saw something very interesting. It was a huge skeleton with a long tail. It was too much for George to resist. He stepped over the rope and jumped onto the tail. He climbed down and then he climbed up. He climbed up and up until he reached the skeleton's head. Just then, Mr. Chauncey and the class came into the room. "Look at that dinosaur," said Graham. Look at George," he shouted. Ride him, George," cried the girl. The guards heard the noise. "Get down from there," ordered one of them. "I am going to get the director," said the other. George was scared. "Is this how they rode dinosaurs in the old days?" the girl asked Mr. Chauncey. Well, no. "Tell us more about dinosaurs," someone said. George was curious. What was a dinosaur? "Well," said Mr. Chauncey, "the earth was once full of huge creatures like this." Suddenly, the director of the museum came charging in. "What's all this about a monkey on our dinosaur?" he asked. "Guards, get that monkey down before he causes any damage," he ordered. Poor George. He was on top of the dinosaur and no place to hide. "Oh, just a moment," said Mr. Chauncey. "George was a great help to me. He got the children interested in the dinosaurs." "We wouldn't have listened," said a boy. It's so interesting now. I want to come back," said Molly, who was one of the girls there. "Well," said the director, "I can see that our dinosaur is not damaged. We'll forgive him this time." "You can come down, George," he called. "Hurrah, hurrah, hooray," the children shouted. And Mr. Chauncey said, "I do have to thank you for making this visit an interesting one, George. But next time, promise not to ride the dinosaur." Well, when the bus stopped in front of George's house, the man in the yellow hat was waiting. "Oh, I'm glad to see you, George. I hope you kept out of trouble today." And that's the end of the story of Curious George. Oh, it was a good one, a very good one. So let's see, I think we have a birthday. I think it might be our friend Rocky's birthday. Sure, let's sing to Rocky. Oh, wait a second, no cake, of course, no cake. Let's see if from memory we know the children's votes, right? The children's votes. Let's think. Molly and Alice and Jolene, always chocolate. Ben and Bee, also chocolate. Julian and Graham, Audrey and Lila. James and Anna. And Peggy, Eliza, and Angelica. Okay, that's 14 for chocolate that I can remember their votes. Let's think about the vanilla people, all right? I know it's KJ and Sophia, his sister. It's Joseph and Christopher. It's Harris and Maya, Scarlett, and Coco and Tate. All right, let's count. Those are all vanilla. Okay, that's not 9. I have 9. Very good. It's going to be a chocolate cake for Rocky. All right, here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rocky. Happy birthday to you. Very nice. All right. Thank you, cameraman Dan. Thank you. Oh, we don't have Oberon, but we do have Ariel. Thank you, Ariel. So good to have you with us. All right. And remember, I love you all very, very much.